The overview section of Microsoft Compliance Manager in Microsoft Purview provides you complete compliance score of the organization. It provides number of points achieved and Microsoft managed points achieved. It gives you key improvement actions that were taken and that have to be taken. You can see list of improvement actions and specific points that can be obtained by implementing these improvement actions, the test status of improvement action, group, and action type of the improvement action. You can see solutions that affect your score by implementing improvement action. You can also see pre-deployment compliance. You can find compliance score breakdown based on different improvement actions. The next section is improvement actions. Improvement actions section provides list of all improvements, that can be taken up. So based on this list, if an improvement action is implemented, then scores of the compliance increases in Microsoft Purview. Assessment is the section where you can identify any regulatory act which is suitable to your organization and select that regulatory act and create an assessment so that Microsoft Purview will assess the whole Microsoft 365 environment based on the assessment rules and act. Here, let's go to add assessment and we can find out what are the regulations which are available. Now, there are multiple regulations here. Out of these regulations, identify the regulation that is suitable for your region, company, and the type of industry. Let's say I'll consider Australia Privacy Act. Click on Next. Give the assessment name. Provide the user group. You can also create a new group. In case there are any groups which were available earlier and you want to import that, you can select the options here. Click on Next. Now select the services. So in this current state, this assessment will be applied on Microsoft 365 applications. Select Next and create an assessment. Now the assessment has given an outcome. You can see that the total number of points that are achieved already are only 30 out of 1044. Based on this assessment, you can see what is the current state, how the Microsoft 365 applications are adhering to Australia Privacy Act. If you go to controls, then you will find out how the control status is breakdown. So the different parts of assessment are available here. You can see what is the progress of each and every aspect of the assessment. Go to improvement actions where you can find out list of improvement actions that have to be taken in order to successfully be compliant to Australia Privacy Act. The fourth one, Microsoft Actions, shows you what are the actions that Microsoft has already taken in order to ensure that your organization is adhering to Australia Privacy Act. Now go to details to check more. So you have a group assessment version 7 template Australia Privacy Act, when it is created and status of it. You have about section and feedback section. Coming back to your improvement actions, you can go to each improvement action, click on anonymize usernames to users in certain roles. This improvement action is for Microsoft 365 service, and applying this improvement action will increase 27 points. Implementing this improvement action will ensure one of the regulation aspects of Australia Privacy Act. So now let's go to the improvement action. Now once we click on improvement action, you can see owner, implementation status, test status, service, testing type, testing source. Microsoft recommends that your organization show anonymized versions of usernames to users in certain roles. Anonymization will replace identifiable display names with generic label to mask the user's identity while the user is reviewing sensitive data. How to use Microsoft solutions to implement. Your organization can use Priva privacy risk management to anonymize usernames to users in certain roles. Select Launch Now to access anonymization page from the settings menu. Select the radio button to show anonymized version of usernames. To anonymize the username of the subject across all privacy management features. Similarly, we can identify some other improvement actions as well. Let's consider automate log retention. The automate log retention current implementation status is not implemented, test status is none, service is Microsoft 365, testing type is manual, and testing source is user verified. You can add and you can see all the details about this. Microsoft recommends that your organization implement mechanisms to automate in accordance to time requirements defined by your organization. This can be done using retention policy, which will tell your organization as to how long to keep audit logs. Audit logs can be kept for a maximum of 10 years. How to use Microsoft solutions to implement. Your organization can use audit via Microsoft Purview to create and manage audit log retention policies. Select Launch Now to create a new audit log retention policy. Once you have signed into the Microsoft Purview service, the audit retention policies page will be available. Then select Create Audit Retention Policy and complete the required fields in the flyout page. Begin by providing a unique name for the policy under policy name, ensuring it is distinctive and easily identifiable. Optionally, you can add a description that includes relevant details such as the types of records, users, or workloads the policy applies to, including audit records from Exchange Online, SharePoint, OneDrive, and Microsoft Entra. In the Users section, specify one or more users to whom the policy will apply, or leave this field blank if the policy should cover all users in your organization. In the Record Type field, choose one or more record types that the policy will apply to, such as Exchange Online, SharePoint, OneDrive, or Microsoft Entra if you select a single record type. You may also define specific activities that the policy will cover. Let's click on Launch Now. Now, this has taken us to Audit section. Now select Create Audit Retention Policy. Provide policy name and description, and provide the users on which this particular policy has to be applied. You can select a record type. If you want to retain alerts, you can select alert. If you want to retain alert incidents, select alert incidents. Similarly, you can select other aspects here in order to retain the information. Here you can choose the number of years for which you want to retain these details. You can also give the priority, then select Save. Now this policy will retain alerts, alert incident, Azure Active Directory, Azure Active Directory account, Azure Active Directory STS logon. But it will retain the information logs and logs of this aspects of Microsoft Purview and Microsoft 365 applications for at least 3 years, and this would be a first priority. So once automate log retention, which is one of the improvement actions of Australia Privacy Act, is implemented, go back to the section. So when an improvement action is identified under assessment, you can assign this improvement action to a specific user. I can select automate data retention and assign it to a user. So because we have implemented improvement action, automate data retention, the test status has passed automatically because this is created and Microsoft Purview has identified that there is an automate data retention policy which is created. This has added 27 points to the compliance score. So you can see that 2% of improvement actions are complete. Similarly, apply all improvement actions in order to ensure the compliance score increases and your organization is in compliant with Australia Privacy Act. You can perform improvement actions based on solutions as well. So go to solution section and you will find all solutions of Microsoft Purview in this page. You can select one of the solutions, let's say data classification, and see what are the improvement actions that can be applied as part of this solution. Here you can see that for data classification, there were no points increased or any improvement actions applied already. The potential increase in the score could be 57 out of 57, and there are three improvement actions associated with it. When you click on this, it will take you to improvement actions section, and here you can identify those improvement actions. So you can see these improvement actions here. Again, you can click on the improvement action. The implement action says that facilitate data classification through classification prediction. This is a Microsoft 365 service related improvement action, and this is one of the regulations related to data protection baseline. You can assign this you can assign this to a specific user and then check it out how this implement action can be applied. So in order to use this your organization can use data classification by Microsoft Purview Compliance Portal to retain trainable classifier. Select Launch Now to visit the portal, navigate to Data Classification, Content Explorer. Under the filter on labels, info types and categorize list, expand trainable classifiers. Choose the trainable classifier you can use in auto apply retention label policy. Use this trainable classifier to give feedback. Once the improvement action is implemented, you can go to evidence section and attach all the evidences of the improvement action. In order to understand more about how to retain a data classification, so you can go to how to retain a classifier in Content Explorer. Let's click on how to retain a classifier in Content Explorer. The documentation says that returning published custom classifiers is no longer supported. If you need to improve the accuracy of a trainable classifier you have published, remove the classifier and start over with larger sample sets. So this improvement action cannot be performed because this is out of scope now. We can look for another improvement action. Go to solutions. Go to data lifecycle management. You can see that there are 9 improvement actions which are associated with it. Out of these 9 improvement actions, the some of the improvement actions are implemented, and the score has been identified as 27 out of 244. Let's go to improvement actions here. Let's look at different improvement actions. As part of one of the improvement actions which we see is automatically apply retention labels. This is one of the improvement actions which is also a part of data protection baseline or California Privacy Rights Act and Australia Privacy Act. Let's click on this improvement action. Assign this improvement action to one of the users who will take care of this improvement action. You can see the description about how this improvement action can be performed. You can also go to this particular link to check how this improvement action can be implemented. This talks about how to create an auto apply retention label policy so that automatically apply a retention label to retain or delete content. However, this has been already completed, so hence I can go to evidences and upload the evidences for auto labeling policies. Let me go to information protection. So you can create an auto apply a label. So this give the label name and then provide the description for this label. So this label is being applied automatically whenever a US driver license is identified on documents. Apply label to content that contains sensitive info. Select this option because we are going to apply the label based on the sensitive information US driver license. Go to next and click on custom and click on custom policy, click on next. Add the sensitive info types. Click on next, click on next. You can say static so that you can choose locations by yourself. Click on next, add the label which you want to apply, 7 years. Next, you can turn on the policy right away. Now the auto labeling policy is created. Once this retention label is applied, you can take the evidences from this policy configuration and evidences from the files on which this policy is applied and upload those evidences in this section, Compliance Manager. For demo purpose, let's take a screenshot as an evidence and update same. Update the evidences. Click on Done. The system will identify whether the retention labels are applied. Then it will update the implementation status and will also update the testing status. This will take quite a while in order to update implementation status and test status. Once these are complete, the score in implement actions will increase. This is how Compliance Manager works. Thank you.